you're keeping something from people you love.
Right.
And it's heavy.
Dwyane Wade's kids have gone through a lot of horrible family drama, all of which has been incredibly public. From all of the things leading up to their parents' nasty divorce to his public cheating scandal, things have been pretty messy.
It hasn't been perfect. It will never be perfect.
And that's just the beginning of everything they've had to endure over the last decade. Dwayne is the parent of 5 kids. He had his first 2 kids named Zaire and Zaya with his ex-wife, Siobhan Funches. Then he had a 3rd kid, Xavier, with a woman named Aja Matoye. He also took in his nephew, Davion Morris. And he and his current wife, Gabrielle Union, have a daughter named Kavia James together. But Gabrielle has been an incredibly active parent in all of the kids' lives. Having said that, despite the seemingly united front the two of them have provided since they got together in 2009, that hasn't stopped the drama from happening in the following years. Specifically from his ex-wife, Siobhan, who has countless times attempted to distance Zaire and Zaya from their father. Unfortunately for them, they found themselves in the middle of a very messy and public divorce of their parents, which definitely shook them to their core. At first, Dwayne and Siobhan were high school sweethearts who got together when they were just 15, and they eventually had their first child together when Dwayne was just 20. The two of them were married in 2002, but things started to become rocky just a couple of years later. 5 years into the marriage, Dwayne filed for divorce, which wasn't finalized until 2010. The battle over custody proved to be extremely hard, especially on the kids, and it took just over 3 years for them to finally come to a resolution. This was also around the same time when Dwayne met Gabrielle, eventually starting a relationship with her in 2009. Him starting a new relationship while still in the middle of the divorce was undoubtedly hard on the kids. And to make matters worse, Siobhan was even arrested for allegedly trying to abduct the kids. While in court, she countlessly tried to defame Dwayne and claim that he was a bad father and that he was the one who was keeping the kids from her. To top it all off, she even claimed that he gave her a nasty disease, if you know what I mean. But Dwayne completely denied all of the allegations, and he even decided to sue Siobhan over them, especially because of the last one. But after everything was said and done, they were finally able to reach a settlement, with Dwayne actually giving up $5 million in it all. Just 1 year after that was when Dwayne was also given complete custody of his, at the time, 2 kids. And they moved from Illinois, which was where Siobhan lived, to Miami to be with Dwayne. But the two of them, despite getting a nasty divorce, were still in agreement that she should have contact with him. So she was awarded alternating weekends and certain holidays. However, Siobhan was reportedly still pretty upset behind the scenes about the custody agreement, and she told the Daily Mail in 2012 that the judge ignored her side completely. She claimed that she had several concerns about Dwayne as a father, but that the judge just didn't care and pushed it through because Dwayne was famous. And while you could say that about any celebrity dealing with a court issue, we can't forget that she's trying to make herself look good in these moments too. So we definitely have to take the things that she says with a big grain of salt. Over the years, and since their divorce finalized, Siobhan has constantly accused Dwayne of leaving her homeless and broke despite the $5 million settlement she got. She even tried to sue Dwayne's lawyers and the Chicago police for conspiring against her to have her locked up for the alleged abduction. But the case was basically thrown out immediately. She also claimed that Dwayne's anger toward her escalated over the years of their marriage, and even said that she fell on a marble table while pregnant. And I think we can all guess what she was implying happened with that situation. But Dwayne clapped back in his book, where he very seriously denied any and all claims of physical harm. And the claims did seem to be somewhat unfounded, as there were never any charges pressed against Dwayne or any calls made to the police about something like domestic violence. In his book, he also said that during the custody battle for his kids, he felt like Siobhan was doing everything she could to go against court orders. He said that she would often claim that the kids were sick or would make them say things they didn't want to say. And although it seems that Dwayne eventually came out on top of this battle, with both the police and court on his side, that doesn't take away from just how nasty it all was. And for the kids, they were right in the middle of it, sometimes even being used as pawns in it all. But then, things got even messier. Dwayne had a shocking and very public affair, which resulted in a baby. The news had stayed quiet for a long time, and the whole thing wasn't even revealed until Gabrielle came out with her book, You Got Anything Stronger? There, she wrote that Dwayne had cheated on her and ended up having a baby with another woman right before they were married. The way Gabrielle put it was that they weren't exactly in a good place when the baby was conceived, but by the time he told her about the pregnancy, they were better. But that didn't stop her from being completely devastated, especially since they had been together for 4 years at the time. She even said that devastated wasn't even the right word to say, and she still had no words on the matter, even all these years later. Still, despite all of this, they got married in 2014. And while we might not have heard about it while it was happening, that doesn't mean that his kids didn't. And to think that all of this was happening not too long after all the custody drama, it really seems like it must have been a lot for them to handle. And just last December, Dwayne brought up the difficult situation again. He explained just how hard the conversation really was with Gabrielle, and how he had to explain to her all of the things he messed up on and admit that he got another woman pregnant. While on the Club Shay Shay podcast, he said that he tried to go around it at first and not come out with it directly. But at the end of the day, he said that it was just him and her, and he had to have that difficult conversation, even though it was scary because he knew that he'd hurt her. Luckily, it all worked out in the end, but even though they appear to be happy now, Dwayne said that they still argue about it all to this day and still have to go to therapy over it. So I think it's safe to say that even though Gabrielle married him, she's definitely not completely over it. And it's difficult to know if she'll ever be over it at all. In all of this, we can't forget that his kids had to go through witnessing all of this drama unfold between adults who they considered to be parental figures. So I can't imagine that that was easy for them. But what do you guys think about all this? What are your thoughts on the kids being used as pawns in Dwayne and Savon's divorce? Do you think that Dwayne's affair and subsequent baby had a big effect on his kids? I would love to know what you have to say about this one. So let me know what you think in the comments below.